For the Memphis Zoo, the 21st century has been marked by the major additions of several geographically themed immersion exhibits. In 2016, the Zambezi River Hippocamp opened, celebrating the wildlife in and around Africa's rivers. 2009's Teton Trek recreates the environment of Yellowstone National Park. But it all started with China. At a cost of $16 million, the zoo successfully brought the architecture, wildlife, and even the atmosphere of China to southern Tennessee. With the new exhibit, Memphis welcomed two black and white stars who would be the face of the zoo for 20 years. While this high-profile pair is no longer here, today's tour will aim to showcase why China will still be a highlight of your visit to the Memphis Zoo. Opposite the colobus and patas monkeys of the zoo's primate canyon sit the imposing white marble Beijing lions that guard the portal to China. Guests are welcomed into a traditional Chinese courtyard with authentic glazed roof tiles and a large bronze bell placed in the middle. Within the courtyard is a theater where visitors can pause to watch a film specially made for this exhibit. However, for the more animal-focused visitors, like myself, you will quickly be drawn to pass through the moon door to China's first featured habitat. Contrasting the high-end theming of the courtyard, the animal side of China starts more humble, with a central waterfowl pond where wild interlopers mix with the intended residents, which include the high-flying bar-headed goose, the smaller red-breasted goose, a vulnerable species due to their declining population, and more that I've listed in the description. On the other side of the bridge is a large, moated habitat that originally held white-cheeked gibbons and Asian small-clawed otters, two species that can still be seen in the zoo's primate canyon, which is also where their replacement species came from, the Sulawesi Black-crested Macaque. A notably Indonesian native, so what are they doing in China? Well, back in 2015, one of the zoo's female macaques made a well-documented escape from their previous exhibit, so to prevent a repeat performance, they were moved to this more secure enclosure. While they don't fit the geographic theme, their inclusion in China arguably makes the complex more of a must-see attraction. For one, check out that mohawk. In addition, not only is the black-crested macaque a critically endangered species, but from my research it appears this may be the last troop on display in the AZA. Nearby is the first of China's well-planted aviaries, this one containing the Edwards pheasant and the white-crested laughing thrush. We've also now circled around to the opposite side of the Waterfowl Pond, but your attention would have been more likely drawn to a modest but still well-designed multi-leveled yard which for 20 years served as the outdoor accommodations for the Giant Panda, a national treasure in their native country and beloved worldwide. Thanks to decades of hard work and research, this iconic symbol of conservation was upgraded from endangered to vulnerable in 2016, although there is still only an estimated 2,400 left in the world. Planning to bring giant pandas to Memphis began in 1997, and 6 years later those dreams became a reality with the arrival of then 4-year-old Lala and 2-year-old Yaya, whose journey to Memphis is chronicled on a wall next to the outdoor panda habitat. In addition to this yard, each panda had their own indoor day room, the perfect place to see them up close and form lifelong memories. Yaya and Lala were brought to Memphis in part to participate in research relating to panda genetics, diets, and breeding habits. While the pair never produced any offspring, they still left a lasting impact here in Memphis. With their second 10-year loan agreement coming to an end in 2023, Yaya and Lala were set to return to China. Sadly, Lala passed away unexpectedly in February 2023, but Yaya successfully made the journey back overseas last April. Her departure, coupled with the recent return of pandas to China from San Diego and Smithsonian's National Zoo, leaves Atlanta as the only zoo in the United States currently displaying the giant panda. However, it seems some pandas may be returning to the US sooner than we thought. So, if you can no longer see giant pandas in Memphis, what would you see if you made a visit now? It seems that the outdoor panda habitat is sitting vacant for the moment, but red pandas and clouded leopards have already moved into the now former giant panda day rooms. Just past the day rooms is another aviary, this one for the Temminck's tragopon and the red-billed blue magpie, a nefarious bird that will rob the nest of other bird species to feed on the eggs or even young chicks. Continuing down the path, tall glass windows offer excellent viewing of the Francois Langur, natives of the tropical forest and limestone cliffs of southeast China, Laos, and Vietnam. Memphis's troop has welcomed the birth of 8 of these endangered primates since 2015, with Ripley's birth in 2017 being particularly significant as his mother Tana became the oldest langur to give birth at 22 years old. After surpassing the average langur lifespan by several years, Tana passed away in 2023, leaving behind an incredible legacy as a mother to 6 and grandmother to 11. Down further is the limited viewing of China's original red panda exhibit, which I have found to be empty on my visit. Nearby is the third and last of China's aviaries, where I saw a female golden pheasant, a Chinese symbol of good luck and prosperity, which has now been introduced all over the world, likely due to the striking, beautiful colors on the males. China's final habitat is also its largest, for a herd of Pierre David's deer, a very unique looking species with an even more unique conservation story. After the downfall of the Emperor of China's herd in 1900, this deer would have been lost if not for the handful who had found their way to European zoos. These remaining individuals were brought together under the care of England's Duke of Bedford, where the deer bred prolifically before eventually being distributed to other facilities. In 2016, 16 Pierre David's deer were released along China's Yangtze River, marking the first time this deer had roamed wild in more than a century. Thousands more now reside in protected reserves, and the deer has a stable, worldwide population of roughly 10,000. And China ends with them, concluding one of the best culturally themed exhibits ever built. China, a complex that truly fits the description of being more than an exhibit. It's an experience that propelled the Memphis Zoo into the international spotlight and helped kickstart the zoo's journey to becoming one of the best zoos America has to offer. Huge shout out to Instagram user Okapi2584 for once again providing me with some of her own footage, including all of the footage of Lola, and honestly most of the best clips in this episode. So to say thanks, please go follow her on Instagram. So, we just saw an exhibit that went above and beyond to replicate the feel of a foreign country. Next episode, we'll see one of the country's better exhibits at depicting local environments.